A trip to a gas station turned into a hospital visit for one woman who says she was attacked while paying for her slushie. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The attack was caught on camera at a Walmart gas station in Cedar Hill. The woman claims the confrontation escalated after the cashier didn't like how she handed her the money. Well, now the victim is suing Walmart. Fox News' David Centenry joining us live with more. David.
Yeah, the victim sat down with us and she says she is still recovering from her injuries. She believes that the cashier's criminal history should have been a big red flag for Walmart.
All behind $1.06.
Surveillance video shows a cashier allegedly attacking a customer at a Walmart convenience store in Cedar Hill. The customer trying to purchase a slushie.
To me, $1.06 has changed my life a lot.
$1.06. That's how much money Ann Flores says she slid across the counter to the cashier for the slushie. Flores claims the cashier wanted the money placed in her hand.
And she said, pick up the effing money and put it in my damn hand.
Flores did not like the cashier's tone, so she left the money on the counter and tried to walk out.
So I kept on walking towards the door, and she came around the counter and she shoved the money in my chest.
According to an arrest warrant affidavit, a Cedar Hill police detective says the cashier confronted and pushed Flores, adding Flores was trying to leave, but the cashier taunted Flores, pushed Flores again, and swung Flores toward the front counter, where Flores' lower back was hit. The scuffle continued.
She just came at me, and it was either, stand there and get pounded or fight back, and instinct was to fight back.
A detective says the cashier, Sharif Lawrence, was the aggressor. She's charged with assault causing bodily injury. Lawrence has a lengthy criminal history, theft and drug convictions, even a felony aggravated assault conviction in 2000. In a newly filed lawsuit against Walmart, Flores claims the company was negligent to hire Lawrence. Flores claims to have suffered 2 vertebrae fractures, a head injury, and more.
But what if I have my grandchildren with me or something, and she decides to pop off?
In a statement to Fox 4, Walmart says, "We take the safety and security of our customers seriously. We will review the complaint and respond appropriately to the court."
There's no way you can justify that.
Flores says she did not think much of sliding money to Lawrence instead of placing it in her hand. Her mind elsewhere. She says she was returning from a funeral for her mother-in-law.
What if that was your mother, your grandmother, your child, that this lady did this to, all behind $1.06?
Yeah, that attack happened last September, but the lawsuit just filed last week. We did stop by Lawrence's listed address earlier today in Cedar Hill to see if she would talk to us, but no one came to the door. Heather, Steve, back to y'all.
All right, David, thank you.
Witnesses say ICE agents were waiting outside immigration courts in Dallas to detain illegal immigrants showing up for their hearings.
Similar arrests have apparently occurred over the last few days in Miami and in Phoenix. Fox 4's Casey Stiegel in studio tonight to explain. Casey.
Yeah, Steve, Heather, good evening. An immigration lawyer right here in North Texas tells me that she personally witnessed ICE agents wearing street clothes detain at least 3 people in the hallway outside an immigration courtroom in Dallas, which means Dallas now joins an expanding list of U.S. cities where federal agents are arresting migrants as they show up for their hearings. A trap. That's how numerous immigration rights advocates describe the latest tactic being used by the federal government to nab migrants in the country illegally at some of the nation's immigration courts.
These are individuals trying to do it the right way, go to their court hearings, apply for any relief they have. And now, instead of being able to go through their court hearings, they're getting removed.
Susham Modi is a former law professor, now immigration lawyer in North Texas. He's not the one who witnessed the ICE operation inside the Dallas Federal Building this week, but he is expressing concern over how this is playing out.
There are constitutional rights, like the right to due process. It's a way for the government to quickly deport somebody without a court hearing. What's unprecedented about this is they had the court hearing, and then those cases are trying to be dismissed.
While earlier this week in Phoenix, protesters gathered outside an immigration court. as ICE agents in that city effectuated similar enforcement operations over the course of 2 days, according to our sister station, KSAZ. One attorney told our affiliate his Venezuelan client had just appeared before a judge, his case terminated, and with an appeal in hand, he was captured.
We just had planned everything and was okay, ready, break, and then he, walked right into the arms of these federal agents.
Legal analysts say even though courts can be deemed sensitive places like schools, hospitals, and churches, they're not totally off limits.
Expedited removal was only used almost historically close to the border, within 100 miles of the border. It's only been recently expanded by the Trump administration.
The U.S. Department of Homeland Security released a statement to Fox 4, reading in part, quote, ICE is now following the law and placing these illegal aliens in expedited removal as they always should have been, adding those with valid credible fear claims will continue in immigration proceedings. So similar enforcement operations at immigration courts have also been reported in cities like Miami, New York, and Seattle. Legal scholars do believe it will eventually be challenged in court. Steve, Heather.
All right, Casey Stiegel in studio, thank you. A 25-year-old woman is dead after a police chase ended in a crash.
That chase started in Grand Prairie. It ended in Dallas early Saturday morning. A 26-year-old man, a known gang member, that's according to police, is now facing multiple charges, including murder and evading arrest. He was out on bond connected to a violent home invasion where children were held at gunpoint. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager has more on the chase. Peyton.
Heather and Steve, we will get to that lengthy criminal history here in a moment. But that chase that took place early Saturday morning, it started on Main Street over in Grand Prairie with a traffic stop. And then that chase continued here on Interstate 30, putting many people at risk with speeds reaching 120 miles per hour.
A known gang member by police, Lonis Arevalo, is back in the Dallas County Jail wearing a neck brace. Police say Arevalo caused a deadly crash during a police chase early Saturday morning, killing an innocent driver. Just before 2 a.m. Saturday, a Grand Prairie police officer was on patrol at East Main Street and Small Street when he spotted a red Camaro abruptly brake. The vehicle's registration came back expired. A traffic stop was initiated. The Camaro turned into a nearby Family Dollar, but then took off toward I-30. Officers chased the Camaro eastbound into Dallas city limits. As the Camaro exited Southampton Road, it crashed into a Honda Accord that was disabled near the service road. Arevalo and the Camaro's passenger ran off. An officer tried to use a taser. It failed, so he had to wrestle Arevalo to the ground until backup arrived. Police say Arevalo claimed, quote, other people in the car were holding a gun to him, telling him to run from police and to go fast. 25-year-old Asiana Gray was found unresponsive inside the disabled Honda, and she was later pronounced dead at a hospital. Photos from Fox 4 photojournalist Terry Van Sickle show Arevalo being loaded into an ambulance. That's when investigators say Arevalo told first responders he swallowed Percocet pills and fentanyl. Officers on scene Saturday quickly learned Arevalo was out on multiple bond conditions. Arevalo's criminal history in Dallas County dates back nearly a decade, in and out of custody for violent charges and violating bond. In January, Arevalo was charged with a dozen felonies. Police say on January 1st, he broke into an Irving home and held multiple people, including children, at gunpoint. Now, Arevalo faces murder, evading arrest, and collision involving death in relation to Saturday's crash. Once Arevalo's blood sample comes back, a charge of driving while intoxicated could be added as well.
And Steve and Heather, this investigation is still ongoing because that second suspect, the passenger in the red Camaro, was able to get away. He took off on foot here on the service road on Interstate 30. I'm told the Grand Prairie police officer was by himself, so he went after the driver. So the passenger still on the run. Back to you guys.
All right, Peyton, thank you.
White Settlement police say a man who plotted attacks on his family and worship sites had weapons and several explosives when he was arrested. Evidence shows he also watched videos about how to make bombs. Fox 4's Dan Angren live with the body camera and 911 calls connected to the investigation. Dion.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, this case and how it was handled is credited with stopping a man who was looking to carry out a violent rampage.
Hello. How you doing, sir? Hey, what are we doing? I'm dealing with a spiritual issue. Okay. Yes, sir. Tell me about that.
Bizarre and suspicious on a residential street at 5:30 a.m. The encounter in November 2024 between White Settlement Police and 33-year-old Tino Napoleon Ross. It followed a neighbor's 911 call.
The car is on, but there's nobody in the driver's seat.
What kind of car is it?
It's a white van.
Police say Ross from Oklahoma had driven here with a sordid and violent plan.
He had a handgun in his lap. He had a rifle that with a collapsible stock between the driver's seat in the center console.
Police say he also had 3 homemade explosives in the back of that van.
Well, man, I've been to churches. I call FBI. Okay.
The officer's body camera is rolling as he discreetly calls for emergency backup.
He is calling on the radio without the suspect knowing that, hey, I need backup and I need them now. So he engages in candid conversation. But while he's doing that, really what the supervisor's doing, he's formulating a plan. Once the team arrived, they executed their plan.
I haven't even done nothing.
Listen, bro, please get out of the car.
Sir, listen, I have not done nothing, sir. Sir, you can't force me because I haven't done it. You can have all the weapons, everything I have.
Police say Ross was mentally unstable and arrived on that street to harm some relatives who lived nearby.
Specifically, the investigation led detectives to believe that he was intent on setting a home on fire that morning, and as the home was going to be set on fire, he was going to discharge firearms into that house. He's got family members that he was angry with that resided on that street. The perception that somehow they were against him. We further believe, again, based upon his own admissions, based upon the search warrants that we executed, that he was also angry with places of worship across North Texas.
A federal aspect to the investigation identified that Ross targeted at least 2 houses of worship to carry out some form of violence, perhaps with the explosives. Police did not identify the locations.
It appeared he was trying to determine how to also flee the country, meaning when he got done with what he was going to do on Jason Lane, when he got done with whatever he was going to do at any of these places of worship, he was trying to figure out how to get to China.
Police say Ross is in custody in Wichita Falls, the result of transfers during a mental evaluation and treatment. He faces both state and federal charges in what police say could have easily been a web of death and destruction.
I fully believe, based upon their actions, our officers at the scene, based upon that neighbor that made the honorable decision to notify us to say something was just out of the norm in her neighborhood. Based upon the subsequent investigation that our detectives did, that our partner agencies did, that this incredible work that we saved lives that day.
Now, it is expected that Ross will be extradited back to Tarrant County in the coming days to face those criminal charges. As the very latest live, Clarice, back to you.
Dion.
The Department of Justice and the FBI are stepping up efforts to identify and track child sex predators. A recent operation led to dozens of new arrests, including some in North Texas. Fox 4's David Centenry spoke with the FBI about Operation Restore Justice. David.
Well, FBI Director Kash Patel says they have been quietly surging operations across the country in an effort to take down people who are targeting kids. And here in North Texas, FBI officials say they are working with other agencies and other FBI offices across Texas to keep that momentum going. FBI Dallas working with state and local law enforcement
to have coordinated arrests that were related to crimes against children.
Soon planning to announce new arrests of alleged child predators, part of an initiative with FBI field offices across the Lone Star State.
From El Paso to Houston, from Texarkana to San Antonio.
Jeremy Wright, an assistant special agent in charge overseeing violent crime.
It's really frightening when you see how prevalent it really is.
Earlier this month, the FBI announced the arrest of 205 alleged child sex offenders and identified and provided resources to 115 potential victims during a nationwide crackdown labeled Operation Restore Justice. A dozen of those arrests in North Texas, mostly related to distributing or manufacturing child pornography across an ever-evolving online landscape.
Now it's all the encrypted apps and stuff, and then you have platforms that don't want to share that information with law enforcement because that's their marketing strategy, like, hey, we won't share with law enforcement.
Some investigations during the operation happened quickly, and some took years of work.
So some will happen very quickly because it's a necessity, and some will take a little bit longer just because of the circumstances.
After more than a decade on the run, Rogelio Christopher Guadalupe Gonzalez was arrested in Mexico and returned to FBI custody for aggravated sexual assault of a child out of Johnson and Tarrant counties. Authorities say the 50-year-old was working in Mexico as a scuba instructor. FBI's national office had this to say after its operation.
It's very important to let the offenders know that they're not out of reach of law enforcement regardless of where they are.
FBI Dallas says at any given time, it'll have several hundred active child predator investigations.
There's so many, and you don't want to let them sit because it's an allegation of a potential abuse.
FBI Dallas says it hopes to announce those new arrests next month. Steve, back to you.
All right, that's David Santender. David, thank you. All right, so how low does it get? Well, this low in Fort Worth today. A fight between parents at a 5th grade graduation ended with a parking lot stabbing at a Fort Worth elementary school.
So this happened at South Hills Elementary, and it sent the school into lockdown this afternoon. The stabbing suspect ran off. Police caught up to him. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager in Fort Worth tonight with more. Peyton.
Steve and Heather and Fort Worth police say it was disturbing because elementary school students here at the school witnessed this stabbing. The suspect has been identified by Fort Worth police as 28-year-old Keyshawn Fields. He remains in the Fort Worth jail. We are still waiting for his mugshot to be released. He is currently charged with aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. But just within the last hour, we just got surveillance video of police say is Keyshawn Fields being arrested half a mile away from the school. Police say after Fields stabbed another parent, he took off running into the neighborhood. Description from witnesses helped 2 officers locate and arrest him. I mean, there were dozens of parents here for this graduation. So this all started around 11:30 a.m. today. Police tell us the fight started while parents on campus for that graduation ceremony. 2 parents believed to have problems with each other in the past started to argue. Police say the suspect, Fields, then pulled out a knife and stabbed the victim. Another parent we spoke with, Tim Russell, he says he helped the victim until first responders arrived, making sure that victim stayed conscious. Take a listen.
I was already here at the school because I was here for the graduation ceremony. I was trying to figure out what was going on, who needed help at that point. Just trying to, I gave my shirt away. This is not even my shirt.
All of us were hiding on the lockers. Everyone was crying.
Meanwhile, all grades here at South Hills Elementary went into lockdown during that moment, and then parents came to pick up their children earlier this afternoon. All right, last update on the victim. We know that victim, he was stabbed in the upper torso. Parents tell me the victim's daughter witnessed her father being stabbed after that graduation ceremony. However, at this hour, we do not have an update on the victim's condition. Steve and Heather, back to you.
It's an awful story. Peyton, thanks.
Thanks, Peyton.
1 child is dead, 2 others injured after being hit by a truck after school.
It happened on Marsalis Avenue near I-35 in front of Botello Elementary School. All 3 were taken to the hospital. 1 child did not survive. Fox 4's David Centenary has more from police tonight at police headquarters. David.
Yes, Stephen, Heather. Dallas ISD says the 3 children and that adult were not all from the same family, but police say there was some sort of a relationship between all of them. One day before, Botello Elementary students will be released for summer break. Several students struck by a truck in front of the school while crossing Marsalis Avenue in Oak Cliff.
1 adult, 3 children.
were struck by a vehicle.
Dallas Police Department says one of the 3 children died. The 2 other children, critical but stable at a hospital. The adult with them, stable. Dallas ISD says the 3 children were students at the elementary school.
It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking.
The driver of the truck stopped, according to police. Investigators believe the driver was not speeding, calling this an accident.
It's horrible. That scene is graphic.
It appears the children and the adult they were with were crossing an area without a crosswalk. Some neighbors say it's common to see students crossing here before and after school. Neighbor Brian Evans says not too long ago he saw a near accident.
And literally 2 children almost got hit. The car had to stop immediately.
Now Evans's fear a reality. He believes change is needed.
Either the crosswalk or have the parents walk up the street, because something like this may happen. Lo and behold, when we was walking down the street, I was like, wow.
So again, Dallas Police Department alluding to no charges being filed at this point in time, just calling this an accident. The department says that the child who was killed is under 10 years old. It did not give us the ages of the other 2 children involved. Keep you updated when we learn more, but for now, Heather and Steve, back to y'all.
David, thank you.
Last week, Fox 4's Sean Rabb brought attention to the murder of Marie Brooks in his Trackdown segment. Minutes after that story aired, Dallas detectives got tips, and the suspect, a teenager, was caught. Today, Marie Brooks' family said their last goodbyes, a final farewell that Sean was invited to attend by Marie Brooks' daughter. And Sean is in the newsroom to explain.
Hi, Clarice. Following our Trackdown segment and the suspect's arrest, Marie Brooks' daughter, Ashley Oliver, called me. We talked about the case, about her mother's funeral, and today at that service, we talked about their life story and connections broken in life, but never broken in love. Comfort for Ashley Oliver outside Lincoln Funeral Home before the service of the mother she never knew.
We were actually, it was me and my brother, we was actually giving up at 3. She never came back to claim us.
But Oliver never stopped looking for her mother, Marie Brooks.
So, I guess, long story short, 40 years later, I have to claim her, so I'm here claiming her.
Here to claim her mother, who by choice or circumstance lived alone on Dallas streets. It's where she was murdered, a case covered on Trackdown. Shot while she slept. Tips led to a 15-year-old's arrest, a 15-year-old who took another person's life in the most cruel and senseless way.
I appreciate you airing that because without that, I wouldn't have been able to find her. So, yeah, life-changing and so bittersweet, I guess, because I guess I didn't get the opportunity to have that relationship with her. So it's kind of hard, but yet I know, like, full circle, God made no mistakes, so I'm thankful for that.
Still, though, the reality of a longed-for relationship that now will never be.
And then it's also sad because I guess I was still that child waiting for her to come back so we can have that relationship. And I guess we would never have that relationship. So it's just like closing the door.
She asked that we would be willing to assist her with laying her mother to rest, giving her a proper burial, considering the circumstances. And of course, our answer was yes. We're willing to do so to serve the community and to provide a service to this family.
The J. Alexander Law Firm donated the casket. In Bloom Flores, the flowers. Oliver's pastor says while there was family separation, Marie Brooks sacrificed her role as mother so her kids could have what maybe she could not give them.
It was a mother that looked at the whole situation, knew that it had grabbed her, but she said, not my daughter, not my daughter. She approached it with humility and said, not my daughter.
Marie Brooks left her children, but now her daughter leaving something with her mother. Tell me about the teddy bear.
So just give her something to remember me by, so she can sense me, so she won't be lonely anymore.
Certainly want to thank Ashley Oliver for allowing us to be part of her final farewell to her mother. A poignant yet powerful story of a daughter's love for a mother she never really knew.
Indeed. Sean, thank you.
Fort Worth police are still looking for the person responsible for a shooting that injured an innocent grandmother.
The gang unit is still investigating. It happened last Friday, early morning hours. Multiple bullet holes were seen on the side of her home. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live after speaking with the victim's family. And Peyton, I know you have an update on her condition. What can you tell us?
Hi, Heather and Steve. The 72-year-old's family tells me she was shot multiple times down her right side, on her arm, her leg, and also her foot. She had her 4th surgery today since Friday. She is awake and talking, and she tells her family she has faith that police will find this suspect.
Hey, let's rally around, identify this person so we can get this person off the street so it don't happen to your auntie, your grandmother, your sister. Then I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to take that chance.
Rod Smith shocked and thankful his 72-year-old aunt is alive after he says she was shot 9 times while sleeping inside her home. Smith wanted to provide Fox 4 an update on his aunt's condition, but his family doesn't want the 72-year-old identified since the shooter is still at large.
We don't understand or know why they went to her bedroom in her house.
Video shows broken glass and bullet holes where someone shot into the 72-year-old's bedroom. Nearby surveillance caught the gunfire echoing through the southwest Fort Worth neighborhood near Brookhaven Trail and Alta Mesa Boulevard. It happened just after 2 a.m. Friday. The victim's grandson, who also lives there, is the one who called 911.
It's hard to process just knowing that she was shot and the type of person she is. That's not in any trouble. That's not in any violent things or anything, you know?
Fox 4 reached out to Fort Worth Police Wednesday for any updates on the case. Investigators say still no arrests. Police haven't provided a potential motive, nor have they said whether or not the home was specifically targeted. Smith waiting by the phone for any updates and remaining by his aunt's side as she recovers.
The devil tried, but he didn't succeed. That's literally all she keeps saying. God got her.
The 72-year-old is scheduled for even more surgeries, but her family is just thankful that she survived. Again, the gang unit here at Fort Worth PD, along with the gun violence unit, they are both working hand in hand in this investigation. Steve and Heather, back to you.
All right, Peyton, thank you.
Dallas police are working to find the person responsible for a string of business burglaries at Preston Center, Dallas.
Business owners say 5 businesses were broken into. This is along Luther Lane. Fox 4's Lori Brown live with the story. Lori.
Heather, business owners here in Preston Center say they are hopeful that police will catch the burglar before any more small businesses are hurt.
Well, here we are. It looks like nothing was taken.
Keely Vendig, owner of Navy Blooms in Preston Center, says her business was one of several broken into by burglars early Wednesday morning.
Somebody used a crowbar and pried open in between the pane of the door and the glass, and it just shattered everywhere.
At Navy Blooms, it appears the burglars could not find what they were after.
We are cashless. We do not have a cash register, so perhaps that deterred them.
But they still left a path of destruction for Vendig to clean up, taking away from her busy graduation and summer season.
We do all the holidays, graduations, schools, summer camp, so we kind of are just an overall gift shop to celebrate all the occasions in your life.
Police took reports for 5 businesses on the block.
What concerns me is how brazen this person was.
Lover's Egg Roll was one of them.
We came in Wednesday morning and it was broken. They took about probably like $200 from us, but it cost like $500 to fix the door.
Richard Gonzalez says it's why a lot of Dallas restaurants have gone cashless.
We'll go cashless if people keep stealing from us.
Gonzalez says it is hard enough to keep a small business going without having to deal with thieves.
We've been around for about 20 plus years.
Small businesses in general across the country, definitely around here, are struggling a little bit. And so I just hope that the police stay on this and find who did this so it doesn't happen again and we don't lose money out of our pockets.
We asked the Dallas Police Department if they had any suspect information. They said they had no more additional information to release. We also asked if these burglaries are connected to those at Forest and Edwood. We're still working to get a response to that question. Heather.
Lori Brown, thank you.
A North Texas nonprofit partnered with the family of a man who was killed nearly 8 years ago. They're bringing attention to his murder with a billboard for thousands of people to see every day. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has the story. Sean.
Good evening to you, Clarice, and I can tell you that Armani Morgan's family and the nonprofit SolveTheCase.org hoping somebody, actually praying somebody will see the billboard and say something. This billboard asking who killed Armani Morgan is along I-30 eastbound near Peak Street and will be seen by hundreds of thousands of eyes every day.
It's only going to take that one witness to come forward to provide that big break in Armani's case, which is what we're hoping and praying for.
Robin Johnson is Armani Morgan's aunt. He was 27 when he disappeared June 3rd, 2017. His remains discovered 6 weeks later. 8 years have passed. No suspects identified.
It's affected our family in the most devastating way because it's left a deep hole in our soul.
Aaron Benzik and his nonprofit, SolveTheCase.org, walking alongside the Morgan family.
Solve the Case is an organization that's designed to help people just like Robin and her family. What we do is try to help promote these cases not be forgotten.
While their loved one is dead, Benzik works to keep the case alive and partnering with Lamar Advertising, an expensive digital billboard free to a hurting family.
And we want to start with having a homepage for victims where their case information can be organized. It can be a central place where people can go to get more information about these cases.
Getting Armani's case exposure, the family could not afford.
Please come forward. Armani's mom deserves answers. Our family deserves answers. We want justice for Armani, which he rightfully deserves.
There are people who know things and they have a responsibility to come forward, and that's what we want to help work with and partner and make these things are community events that we need to be all working together on.
And even though, time has passed and we understand that some are reluctant, but we understand that. But now is the time. We need the information right now.
And if you have information about Armani Morgan's murder, you're asked to call Dallas Police Homicide, or, you know what, stop SolveTheCase.org. On that website, information about Armani Morgan as well as other unsolved cases in our area.
Sean, hopefully that will help. Thank you.